By the water where the stories breathe, dreams rise slowly with the evening breeze. From the shoreline to the city lights, people chasing purpose through the tide. Every scar became a work of art, every wave rewrote a broken heart. From the coast we carry more than names.
Good day everyone, my name is Olayinka Muyideen. I'm a full-time visual artist and I work on staying but I agree. So my journey as an artist has been so very interesting, and one day I feel like it's going to be a day that I'm going to film this journey. So I started as a random kid, as all kid out there. I love making drawings and I don't really take it serious. So after my education, after my secondary education and after I finished my education, then I thought about having a skill. So that was when art came into the story. So I started by going for a training for like 3 years. So I did general training on art at Awesome Studio Gallery, and then after that I attended a training at Center for Youth Integrated Development, which is for entrepreneurship. So this has been part of my journey. So my journey started as a random kid out there. As a kid, a lot of kids love making doodles, making sketches. So I saw myself doing these things and I got to realize that it's part of me. So the more I grow older, the more I realize I'm meant to be an artist. So I got the inspiration and I got the interest to go more for it. So I actually went for I had my general training for 3 years at Awesome Studio Gallery, which I think it's a very important phase of my life, because when I embraced this art, I felt I had to sacrifice a lot of things just to be an artist. I need to leave home. I sacrificed leaving my family. I sacrificed some comforts, and there was a lot of things that I had to put online to be where I am today. So after going for the training, I built myself more into being a contemporary artist, because I see myself more than an artist that paints pictures of people. I try to add a lot of storytelling and a lot of context to my work to solve real world problems. Badagry inspires me lots as an environment. Sleeping and waking up in Badagry every day has been a crucial part of my journey as an artist. The environment, the colorful people, and the nice culture, and the way Badagry people welcomes everybody. Because literally I'm not a Badagry by indigene, but I've been in Badagry for a while, and I felt so very welcome and loved. I reflect Badagry a lot in my works. Literally, my state of origin is Kwara Ilorin, but I found myself more in Badagry because I've been in Badagry and I've been here for a while. So most of my works reflect Badagry, with use of mediums, with the storytelling, with the context, and my narratives. And recently, I've been working on different body of works. I have works that featured coconut shells. I have works that featured the traditional mats, and most of these works are works that I actually put in a lot to get to it, and they are basically talking about the culture of Badagry, the people of Badagry, and how I perceive Badagry as a community. So most of my works, the way I started my journey as an artist, my narrative talks about myself, because I believe in healing, I believe in therapy, and I have that belief that my work shouldn't just be more of like for aesthetic sake. I want my works to be like an avenue for people to find healing, for people to feel safe, for people to feel hope again. So I started this by talking about my personal life. My life has been like a roller coaster, starting from the way I was born, the way my family was, the way we were raised, and all that was just more like roller coaster. So being here today is just like a miracle for me. So I'm trying to use my life as, um, a case of study for people to feel more elated and, feel more hope that life has a lot to offer than what we might be seeing sometimes.
Carry fire nobody could tame. These are the voices by the
So most of my processes are from sketches. So whenever I got the idea, sometimes I need to first do like, the normal mock-up. So I started by working on my sketch pad, and sometimes I just hit the canvas direct and start painting. So to me, I think my process are very very interesting and most times fascinating, because apart from the basic stuff of it, which is making my sketches, I get to the stage where I work with the coconut shells. So I need to like get them from the markets, and then I need to do some treatments like washing them, scraping them, and getting them ready for usage. And from there, I start my assemblage, by assembling the coconuts the way I really want it to, because I'm trying to use this coconut not just like a waste, but then I'm trying to like bring it to life by using the same coconuts to create like a form of something that people find interesting.
the tide may bend, but creation finds its way again.
Yeah, so my tools are quite much, because I work in different mediums, and sometimes I need the armor, I need a saw, I need working with a grinding machine, to find my coconut, to smoothen them. And basically what most conventional artists work with is just colors, brushes, and canvas. But most times I work beyond this medium, because I believe being an artist shouldn't just box me into one space of working with colors. So I work on installations. So working on installation means you need to go more technical, like getting saws, getting nails and hammers and stuff like that.
The same. Everywhere
So that's a very good question. Most of my styles or my way of working sometimes depends on different circumstances.
by the coast.
So my stories that I talked about are a bit vast. I said it earlier, it depends on the narratives and the direction of where I'm actually trying to work on. So recently I worked on some new body of works, and I showed them at the Ghetto exhibition. And these are talking about human relationships, and as the one that you're seeing at the background, which is this pieces. The title of this piece is Ilari. So the idea of the Ilari is to celebrate the people of Badagry, the women of Badagry to be specific. So I feel these women deserve to be celebrated. So the idea of the Ilari is just like a native comb that our mother used to like make their hair. So it's more of a symbol of those people. So instead of painting women that are being celebrated, then I try to paint Ilari just to show the symbol of our women and their strength.
From the shoreline to the city lights.
My pieces reflect all. I've done multiple works that reflect on all of this. I've done works that reflect on identity, which was what when I talked about myself, trying to identify myself, trying to get myself back, and because then it was just like healing. So I've done things like that that works on identity. And about socials too, I've worked on pieces that talks about social environments, the community, the people, and their well-being. So I've done a lot over the years that actually beams lights across all of these topics.
By the sea we rise again. Through the loss, through the pain.
So my authenticity, it's just basic. It comes from myself being intentional, being original, being unique. Not trying to copy others or trying to be like other artists. I'm trying to carve a niche for myself, and I believe this niche is going to last a test of time. Even after my death, I believe my works will be out there going out for auctions, and trying to like beams, lights, and bring a lot of solution out there to world problems. So I'm so very big on my uniqueness. So that's the reason of why I try to put in more of my elements that are in Badagry, which is like the coconut shells and native stuffs like that that are different. Because as far as I'm concerned, I've not seen even an artist also that is doing exactly what I'm doing. So I think my uniqueness is actually my strength, and I'm very confident about it. My challenges are just like every other artist challenges, and again I felt being in Badagry is not quite a challenge. So I think as an artist, I'm not just trying to build myself, I'm trying to build a community, and that is where we actually came up with a collective, which is Badagrian Contemporaries. So Badagrian Contemporaries, basically a collective of young artists and thinkers and writers that came together to solve world problems. And then we feel Badagry is not really connected to the art ecosystem in Nigeria. So the reason we came up with this collective is to bring opportunities, create platforms, and create visibility for creatives that are staying in Badagry. So to me, I think it's not really a challenge. I think it's just like an inspiration to bring solution to this courses. Part of my visibility is trying to visit the exhibition, apply for grants, apply for projects like the one we had at Badagry, which is the Claiming the Future project. The more you actually go into this project, the more people tend to know you, and the more people understand to place value in your works. Then apart from that, I do a lot of social media posting, trying to be online, because it's one of the most important ways these days, to go viral and for people to see what you're doing for real. So I do socials, and I think it's actually cool. So I think one of my milestone as an artist was when we landed the Claiming the Future project from Goethe Institute and Ford Foundation. I brought that project to Badagry, and I feel so very happy because a lot of people resonate with it. There was this massive interest from the people of Badagry, even the politicians, the youths, the regular market women were all inspired by what we did. And again, I feel so very, I think it's one of the milestone. And again, my exhibition at the British Council too was one of my key milestone that I'm very proud about.
These are the voices by the coast where hope.
So I believe visual arts is already thriving in Badagry because compared to the last 10 years, Badagry art ecosystem has gained a lot of attention and positive feedbacks from the community and even from the art ecosystem in Nigeria. And besides, Badagry has the story. We have all of the stories. We have all of the elements to make this happen. So I'm very sure about Badagry being like a real success for a creative visual economy.
Fading, but the dreams remain. Sunset dancing on a
Sincerely, there are like millions of opportunities out there for creatives, locally and internationally. There are residencies, there are paid residencies, for real. There are grants that creatives can apply for. There are some workshops that are even after the workshops, there are like grants, there are payments, there are like stipends. And to me, I think the opportunities are actually endless for me being an artist. It's just getting the work done and trying to be out there, and getting to get your niche right, and trying to sort for people that actually have the interest in your works.
every soul with a story untold. Turning over
So Coastal du Monde and CFAs can actually play a very big role in Badagry art ecosystem. And I'm saying this because most of the young artists that are in Badagry actually have like a collective that holds them together. So I felt if the Coastal du Monde and the CFAs can partner with the collective, by networking them to online opportunities and international opportunity, it's going to be a very nice one. And then they are like, if they can like do more of partnering, maybe in terms of their sponsorship for their residencies and exhibition, is going to play a very big role in trying to foster the arts ecosystem in Badagry. So I think it's a very good one.
whispering low, there's still more inside
So my primary audience are institutions that are really interested in creatives, because I've worked with a couple of institutions like that, and I think it's a very good feeling, and it's even part of what I felt as the peak of my career. And then part of my audiences again are collectors, the art collectors, people that find interest in what I'm doing. And again, I target a lot at working with brands, maybe like banks, international brands, and all sort of companies like that that are going to see value in my work. So those are my primary audiences.
Coastal du Monde, stories meet the tide.
As an artist, I'm not limiting myself to just being a contemporary artist. So being a contemporary artist sometimes means people need to go to the gallery before seeing your works. So as an artist, apart from being a contemporary artist, I work as a muralist. And for a muralist, I have public large scale works that are out there. So people don't need to pay before getting access to my works. And then apart from that, you can actually interact with my works by seeing my shows online or going for physical exhibitions, and then I think it's part of
People
how I get
chase
to reach my
lovers through
audiences.
the tide. Every scar became a work of art.
Badagry inspires me a
Every
lot as an
wave
artist,
wrote
you
a
feel me?
broken heart.
The colorful people in Badagry,
From
the
the
market
coast we
women,
carry money.
their culture,
We carry
even the
fire
coastal area,
like a
the water
These
scenery.
are the
A lot of things
voices
actually inspires me as an artist, because being in Badagry to me is part of what shaped my thoughts and made me the kind of artist that I am today.
with a story untold, turning ordinary
So what keeps me inspired lately has been, I think, my determination, my commitment, and my discipline of trying to get things that I actually wanted for myself. And again, I feel inspired by doing some conversations with like minds. And what I mean by like minds are part of the members of my collective. Sometimes we share the same goal, we have the same vision. So talking with these people sometimes drive my zeal and energy to do more as an artist. So to me, I think it's such a blessing.
something deep. From bad degree to distant shore.
So it's not about affirmation or trying to be positive. I'm very confident in my works, and in few years I see myself having my exhibition at Marianne Ibrahim Gallery in France, and having some dual shows in New York. I have these plans, and I've been praying for this, and I really believe that with my talents, my commitments, and everything that I put in line, it's surely going to happen.
With a story untold, turning ordinary days into
Yeah, to be sincere, I've done NFTs, and I even still have like a collections of my NFTs on Polyscan. And I did it when the NFT trend was, on the rise. So I was, part of the people that actually minted some tokens.
we become.
So part of my role as an artist and even my strength is my uniqueness, the way I do my storytelling, which I feel so very confident about. And I really want to do something unconventional. I don't want to be like anyone else, because I feel that's my strength. So I want to write the story. I want to be one of the most respected artists from West Africa, and I believe in this. This thoughts. It's been in my head. I do a lot of affirmation every day. I feel so very much confident about this, and then I feel there should be a new movement of art that actually gives young people hope that they can actually live up to their dreams and make things happen by pursuing their dreams and being a visual artist. A word for my art is simply therapy, because as an artist I believe people should be able to find healing. So I'm not just focused about painting nice pictures or trying to appeal to people, but I want a space that when people find themselves, when people see my works, they feel ill, they feel relief, and they get up again. So to me, I think my work is talking more about therapy, self-healing, and self-growth. So my favorite artist, I don't really have a favorite artist to be sincere, but I actually have like an artist that I look up to that inspires me a lot, and his name is Amwako Boafo. He's a Ghanaian artist, and he's one of the top artists that are actually trying to make some moves in the art ecosystem in the world right now. I actually look up to this guy. He has done a lot of shows, in France, and even in my dream gallery that I've loved to exhibit, which is the Marianne Ibrahim Gallery in France. And then this guy has been, trying to get a lot of attentions out there, trying to do just beyond art, you feel me? And he's even selling one of his pieces for $1.5 million, which is a very nice fit. So I see myself in this space very soon. So it actually inspires me a lot for real. So if it's for a platform that I can't really do without, I think it's going to be my collective, which is Badagrian Contemporaries. Actually part of who pioneered this collective, and everything started from a conversation by reaching out to one of my friends, which is an artist, and we started making the move. And for real today, it's one of the collective that people are looking up to in Lagos today right now. So to me, I think DYC has been part of my family, and I really feel so very much happy to be part of it. My message to creatives in the coastal community is patience, which is the number one thing of it. So having patience is very important and is key. And then they need to be very committed and believe in what they are doing. From the coast, I create individual artwork because I believe my works is going to impact a lot of lives out there and is going to bring solutions to what problems.